If you consider yourself an angler, right now stop and ask yourself the question, which one's better, the baitcaster or the spinning reel? What is happening, fishing friends, and welcome to another episode of DEBO'S Fishing. Now, I am pumped to come to you today because I've got a video series that's for you, every single one of you. That's right. Think about it. What is the only one thing that every single YouTuber out there has in common? It's you, all of you. It's that all of you make YouTubers and content creators relevant. Without you, without your support, likes, follows, shares, comments, whatever support you give them, without that, it wouldn't be possible for them to do it. Or they could do it and just not have anybody watching it or supporting what they do. And they would probably stop making content because there would be no need for it. So this series is a thank you to all of you. I truly appreciate all the support. But what's this series really going to entail? Well, each week, I'm going to present a fishing related topic. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, pros, cons. Maybe it's something that's kind of controversial. Maybe it's a choice between a couple things. I'll talk for a little bit. You'll get the pleasure of hearing me. But the most important part of this series is you, every single one of you. I want this to be like a sweet electronic fishing forum in the comment section of my videos. Blow it up. I want every single person to comment. You have to comment. So what kind of things will we talk about? Well, should you only practice catch and release? Is there one fishing lure that catches more fish than anything else? How about match the hatch? Is it really that important? What's the best cover to fish out there? Is braid really more sensitive than mono and fluorocarbon? If I could only have one rod and reel in my arsenal, what would it be? You get the idea. I want to start with the age-old question, baitcasters versus spinning reels. Now, I know, hold on. You look at one of these and you get cold chills. You're like, whoa, let's take a look at the spinning reel starting out. So the spinning reel is probably something that many of you learned to fish on yourselves. Now, if it wasn't the spinning reel, it was probably one of those closed face reels. You see a lot of them popular now in the challenge videos, like the little Barbie rods. They used to make bigger ones of those, and a lot of people used to use them back in the day. Probably most people are learning to fish on a spinning reel. So what are the two pros and what are the two cons that I feel spinning reels have? Well, number one is ease of use. You grab the line with your finger, you flip open the bail, cast it out, reel it in. That's all there is to it. You don't have to worry about setting brakes. You don't have to worry about how do I have my thumb set on it? Am I holding it wrong? Ease of use. Number one, by far the biggest asset to a spinning reel. And number two is the usability when it comes to smaller, lighter finesse rigs. Now you can certainly fish smaller finesse rigs on a baitcaster, but it is definitely harder. When you throw a real light lure, a little 1/8 or a 1/16 ounce jig head on here and cast it out, not a problem for a spinning reel. You can use finesse applications, and finesse are huge if you're fishing, pressured lakes or ponds. When you drop down to a real light line, 4 to 6 pounds, it's way harder for the fish to see as opposed to a 65-pound braid. When you're also doing that, you can fish techniques that are a little bit more subtle. So instead of throwing a big, huge jig in there, you might just be throwing a little tiny drop shot in there. It's a lot more subtle and you can get the bites that you just can't get off bigger baits. So the spinning reel definitely excels in that because of the whole package. Not only can you get away with real light line, you'll have rods that are, as you can see, a lot lighter in power. Now what that allows you to do is use those light lines. If I tried to use an extra heavy rod with 6-pound line, I would break it on the first tiny half hook set that I tried. With the spinning setup, you're using your drag in conjunction with the light line tied to the lighter power rod to fight the fish on the way back. So you're not concerned about having super tough, big heavy line and big hooks. Now the drawbacks, it is not 100% foolproof because you can still get line twist in your spinning reel. It can start to come off, it'll knot up, and you can get like mini bird nests. Now they're not as common obviously as with your baitcaster, but they do still happen. The second biggest drawback to the spinning reel is you really flip or pitch super accurately as you can with a baitcaster. With the spinning reel, you can't. You can't feather the spool, you can't slow it down. You kind of can, but it's extremely hard. As far as being able to precisely pinpoint cast, pitch that in there, the baitcaster definitely wins. That brings me right into the old baitcaster. What are the two pros and cons to this? Well, number one, as I was just going over, is your accuracy, your castability. There's a lot of different ways, whether it's flipping, pitching, casting, you can definitely be a lot more accurate with a baitcaster. That's number one. Number two, I feel you can be a lot more efficient with having just one of these and fishing your whole tackle box. You can throw jigs, Texas rigs, you can throw topwater, pretty much anything you can do on a baitcaster except for finesse. The spinning reel excels in that. Now, what are the two cons or drawbacks? Well, the biggest one is probably the thing that scares every new angler out there, which would be the old bird nest. You look at one of these and you get cold chills, you're like, ah! But don't fear, because you can combat that if you correctly set your reel. And that's kind of in the second drawback of baitcasters, is the whole package altogether. You have to make sure you set your brakes right. You have to make sure your spool tension's correct. You want to make sure you don't have too heavy of a line for what you're using. If you get too heavy of a line, it might not make the lure work correctly. That's a whole different tangent, but as long as you set your baitcaster correctly, you shouldn't have those troubles. And I'll link a video that I have to that, making sure you're getting it set up the right way. But those are really the two pros and cons to each of those types. Now, you got the pleasure of listening to me talk, but it's all you now. I want all of you, everybody that's watching this right now, if you make a comment below, I want you to leave a comment, whether it's on the baitcaster or on the spinning reel, on this topic, even if it's just a 2-sentence little comment, please leave a comment below, and I will personally, on every single message, engage with you guys. I want to start a conversation. I want to get my community, DEBO'S, I don't know what we'll call you all. If you have any ideas, usually I start out my videos saying, what is happening, fishing friends? So right now you're my fishing friends, but if you have a better name for all of my viewers, followers, subscribers, you can drop that with your comment too. Let me know. But anyway, please leave a message below and let's get our community, DEBO'S Fishing, talking together. Hey, I was first. Hey, thanks for that. Is there a prize for being first on them? I guess I don't understand why people so often want to be the first comment. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you being first. I can certainly see you were the first one. Anyway, another tangent. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of this series. If you like this sort of video, if you want to see one of these every week, I'm thinking Fridays to stick with the thought. That's a whole lot of F's, but I don't know. So let me know your thoughts below, what you think of this. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you'd rather see me doing instructionals, if you'd rather see me doing reel reviews, any other comments or suggestions you have, leave those below as well. So that is all I have for today. I hope you all enjoyed this. I certainly appreciate all of you. Like and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's make the DEBO'S Fishing family strong. Till next time.